good. We'll call our meeting to order. Public comment of non-agenda items, no public in the room here, but as always, if there's anybody attending online that has public comment, please submit it as it would come up, and we will address it as it comes up. Moving on to approval of the minutes of the June meeting.
It's on the back, isn't it? Or did it not print? The minutes have a page on the back.
I don't need it printed on some of them.
Oh, that's super weird. You guys may have.
I had it on my email.
You guys may have mine. I'm sorry.
I've actually got. I printed off my email too.
Okay.
It's on there, so, yeah.
Okay. Are there any corrections anybody saw? Or anything necessary? Okay, they will stand approved as submitted then. Moving on to the budget report.
So, we finalized the budget for the next fiscal year preliminarily. So the Noxious Weed District has 6.6 mills. The projected value of the mills for the upcoming year is $27,279.00, leaving us with a projected budget in 2140, which is our taxed one, $180,000, 41 and 40 cents. I don't have my glasses, and 40 cents. So a little over $180,000. And then we have received all of the outstanding grant monies. So we're all caught back up with those. I didn't print the revenue budget. I didn't think to print that to show that those have been received. Sorry.
That's all right. No major equipment issues or anything since we last met?
We'll talk about it on the
Very good.
Sorry, you said 6.6 mils.
Yep.
Generates after tax.
So the value of a mill is going to be $27,279.
279.
Okay. We won't know that final until appraisals are in.
Yep.
But that's the projected value.
Okay.
So 1.6 of the mills is the statutory mills in MCA code, and then 5 of the mills is the voted mills that are in perpetuity.
Any other questions in regard to budget? All right, looking at ongoing business, do you have any update from the commission?
Nope.
Okay, grants and MOUs?
We are trying to spend some money in the belts with the Forest Service. But that's going to depend now on what happens with that fire, because that is where we were trying to go.
Mhm.
So they're going to add more money to our agreement to spend out this fiscal year by the end of October. So we're just trying to get that mapped out as best we can around other conditions. But otherwise, that's the main thing we're working on.
Okay. Anybody have questions? Okay. Spray update.
Crew has been working back through the areas we treated earlier this season. I did pull Mark off the gulches because we were working up through those and working through the Forest Service stuff as part of our agreement. So we're out of that right now.
Mhm.
So I'm just having him retouch things and hit all the stuff again.
Excellent. Yeah, I've seen them out again in the areas we
Yep.
covered, so.
We're running into shorter days now with the high
Mhm.
temps.
Yep.
So
What hours are they working?
they're starting about 5 and pulling off between 11 and noon, depending on temperature and humidity.
Okay. Yep.
They've done a nice job overall. from
Yeah,
what I-
it's been really
seen
great
this.
this year.
Any comments or questions in regard to spraying?
Well, one question, what effect, if any, does the fire situation have on our operation overall?
None overall. It just keep the projects that like we were going to look at for Forest Service
Yeah.
with our
okay, so-
cooperatives are put on hold until that's resolved.
Gotcha, thanks.
Vehicle and equipment.
So, Mark, one of our crew sent me a picture. One of our trailers lost a pin in the sway bar part, so we hauled it down to steer in, and we're just waiting to get an estimate on repair, making sure that it's just the pin we lost and not anything else.
Mhm.
So I'm basing him out of the shop right now and having him hit all the roads that he can drive to, and then I'm sending the other crew out to the far distances. So I'm just waiting on an estimate for that trailer.
Where's it at?
The
What, who are you
Oh,
working
steering.
with? Steering.
Yep, yep.
What year is that trailer?
I'm not, I
Curiosity.
think that is the older one. I think that's the one that was here when I got here that we were using before me. I believe the other crew has the new trailer.
Okay.
So I think it's at least 6 years old.
Okay. Just happened?
We're not sure when it happened. It was a
Or
little bit.
I just
yeah,
discovered.
Just discovered.
Okay,
Yep.
very good. Maybe a little bit before you have anything
Yeah,
back
she said
on
she'd
it
get
then.
they'd get to look at it this week and let me know.
Cool,
So,
good. Anything else?
nope.
Any questions? All right, moving on then to new business, pages 11 through 15 of the weed plan. And then I guess if there was anything that anybody had looking back from last meeting or anything that would need addressed from our previous discussion, we can certainly do that as well, but figured we'd try to take a tour through the rest of this here this evening.
So, this will basically, once we reach page 12, that'll finish the bones of our document, and then we'll run into reviewing the forms that we've got. Just as a point of interest, I guess.
Maybe we'll just kind of do like we did last time. Did anybody have anything on page 10 that was noticed?
This, the wording from page 10 to 11, missing the the city of Townsend employee. I'm sure.
Oh, should,
It's kind of,
Employee. Or, yeah, Townsend is missing. And the other thing I
Mhm.
noticed is that that little section is duplicated again down below on page 11.
sure.
yeah, city
Yep.
and town.
Yep.
Has any management plan been?
So we have basically,
Put together, or-
yeah, we have a plan, where they do the control and we provide advice as needed. So if they have questions on calibration or product recommendations, or if they're having issues with a resident not wanting to do something, that we back them up.
Sure. I guess I just wondered if there was an update, or if we needed to update the language of that section, because under the second
Oh, yeah, it does.
bullet point, it said that we would work with work together to draft that.
Yep, so let's change that to has an agreement.
And then I think it should probably say that the city of Townsend would employ a person to
Mhm.
spray noxious weeds.
I don't think the city has a formal plan yet, like of how they approach the noxious weeds in the city, but we do have an agreement with them about control in the city, if that
Okay,
makes sense.
Perfect.
Okay, I will make those.
So if we could
edits.
update that, just to
Yep.
reference what we have, and then is the duplication necessary, I guess, was my other question. Yeah.
I don't know. This was the outline, of the previous
Mhm.
plan. I don't know if we need the current program and program needs, unless you want to just identify needs alone, because our program is already outlined.
Yeah.
We could just make it a needs.
That was my question too, is I could see it being under the special management zones and
Yeah.
requirements,
Mhm.
certainly. But I didn't
'Cause we
know
could-
if it was still necessary to have it down below.
Because we could easily pull the couple that aren't covered up in the special management, like the federal lands and state lands, up to there, and then get rid of half a page of things. Yeah, we could pull the things that are not duplicated up into the special management easily.
Yeah, or even just have the first 3 bullet point, yeah, we could pull the others up, and even under needs,
Mhm.
have the first 3,
Mhm.
because really outside of that, the rest of it could,
But I don't think the language of the current program and program needs, up here, it could be, that language is broad enough to cover any of the stuff.
everything. Okay. Yeah. And with our private landowners,
Mhm.
some of our programs probably need
Yep, those need updated.
updated, and then we have the cost share program
Mhm.
in place, or just the obvious ones that I saw.
And then I will work on fixing our appendices outline and how that, because we'll attach that program.
Yep. And that was what jumped out at me, I guess, as I looked through it, were those couple of things.
Just a comment about the irrigation district. When it comes to aquatic invasives, that's not our jurisdiction?
It is not our jurisdiction.
Okay,
That falls under the DNRC.
okay,
Yep.
okay.
For all the moss control.
Well, and
or worse, maybe
the
even
mussels.
Mussels,
and
yeah,
mussels.
yeah.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
under the DNRC, I
Okay,
believe.
all right. Yeah. Or that, it's one of the invasive species priority, whatever as well, it's the
Mhm.
aquatic weed.
So, flowering rush and yellow flag iris and one of the milfoils fall under the weed.
Okay,
The rest of them fall under DNRC, and it's very weird why they do. But I'm not sure how that broke out and where they gave control to who.
okay, well,
Fair enough.
I think it makes sense because there's a lot of water that flows from multiple counties, so,
Mhm,
in
mhm.
one jurisdiction.
Mhm. No, but I don't know why we
Yeah.
have flowering rush, yellow flag
Oh.
iris, and milfoil. Like,
Yeah, okay,
that was my, yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
And I think Nathan brought up about the gravel pit
Yeah,
management plan and the DEQ.
and that's they're still not requiring gravel pit plans. I don't believe.
Okay.
I had looked it up and I don't remember.
Anything else in those pages that?
So the other appendices, we'll tackle them at a later date.
Yeah, so what I was yes, we will. I was thinking that how I would do it going forward is, so like item C, when I call out for the cost share program, the county noxious weed management and revitalization plan is part of that application, so I'm gonna reference that, see the application is appendix H and see appendix C for this form 2. like, rather than attach multiple duplicates of the same form,
Sure.
we'll
Yep.
just pull them in to the
Where they're
document.
necessary.
Yep.
Mhm. Yep. And our thought on, as far as reviewing all of these appendices, we were just recently through all of these.
This one, yeah.
And so I thought it might be appropriate to just have Jessica send these out to us and cover them as a whole, and just if anybody sees any revisions, rather than slog through them page by page again, just because it was
Yeah.
Going through.
it was so
Pretty recent for
Our
all of them.
review of them, of all of them, was fairly recent.
Yep.
So
Okay.
if it seems reasonable to you all as well, I think that's how we'll proceed with those.
Good.
And on our next meeting's agenda, we'll just include them all and ask for comment, but not dwell
Page by page.
on them page by page.
That makes
Try
a lot
to
more
make it
sense to me.
make our review efficient that way.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Any thoughts there on that last little
Not
bit?
for me.
The fair booth.
I'm still waiting to confirm. Me and another coordinator both reserved the trailer for the same weekend, so we're trying to sort it out how to make it work for both of us. But I have things independent of the trailer, so either way we'll have a booth there, we'll have giveaways, we'll have information. So we'll just,
Okay.
is there anything you guys would like to see?
And it's been well done in the past,
Yep.
I guess, from what I've observed.
Well,
So
they'll
I-
miss some of the good stuff. I have handouts, copies of all the handouts that are in the trailer. So we're just missing some of the cool visuals, but I'll bring
Yeah.
posters and those kind of things for display.
Try to help with that.
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
So
Yeah.
you got the ones that are sit in the back of a booth then, or that open up?
So I grabbed a bunch from my office.
Okay.
I have some maps for the mosquito side that open up, but I have more hard copies of the posters for the weed side.
Okay.
So I was just gonna grab a couple of like little A-frame poster holders, depending on where I end up if I don't get the trailer. So,
Neighboring county or?
Beaverhead.
Okay, so a
So-
little ways off.
Yep.
Yep.
And Val's not sure if she likes the idea of me pulling the trailer out or in the middle of the fair.
That's fair.
And yeah, so
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yep.
Hmm.
When is that county fair?
the
First.
first weekend in August.
Thanks.
Anything else?
Nope, not for fair.
Okay. Reach the round table. Anything?
I do have a question. It's just about weeds in the city. Well, I live in town. What is the safest weed killer that you can use, considering you have animals that are always traipsing through yards and things like that? What would you consider?
On grass or
Well,
fairground?
it's a mixture of grass. I mean, I'm still obviously new at this weeds, learning about weeds, but there's grass, there's other things that look similar to grass, things that look like it could have thorns or some stinging something on the leaves, that kind of shoots up.
More of a thistle.
Yeah,
type.
kind of like, but it's not, I mean, there's no flower on it or any, do thistles, I mean, I'm sure there's Anyways, I was just curious about that.
Well, bare ground and pavement is Roundup all the way.
Mm-hmm.
But the
I
yeah,
guess it's
in
gravel
grass.
for us, but
I mean, you're using all kinds of like
Yeah.
quinclorac and 2,4-D, which are typically available at
Yeah.
Home Depot as well.
You said it's in gravel?
yeah, I mean, a lot of it is like I'm just trying to keep my weeds out of the gravel areas where I park and stuff.
I would just get some of that little Roundup, Roundup Ready spray.
Roundup Ready spray.
Yeah, like just the pre-mixed little.
Okay. And that's not harmful to, like, you know, not only my own animals, but my
No.
neighbors' animals and stuff.
Basically, it's safe for animals after about 4 hours,
Okay.
give or take. It'll tell you on the label what their re-entry time is, but like it's pretty fast to be
And
animal
that,
safe.
And then that would keep it from spreading to
Yep.
neighbors and,
Yep.
okay.
Yep. Roundup is a chemical that kills what it touches, essentially, as far as the weeds go, and isn't as apt to travel.
Yeah, it won't move
beyond
around the
that.
soil.
Oh, okay.
And so, and it will legitimately only kill what it touches. So like if you have a nice rose and you don't spray your rose will survive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can write your name in the lawn.
Yep, you can.
And everybody will know I did
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
In a couple weeks.
But it's very, from that aspect, it's very stable.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah,
All right.
if your pet.
A comment on that, somewhat related. Our next door neighbor had a cat that they're very, very attached to. And about a week ago, all of a sudden the cat showed up very, very sick.
Uh-huh.
They took it to the vet that afternoon, and it was full of mouse poison. What had happened is obviously one of the neighbors had put out mouse poison, the mouse had eaten it, and the cat ate the mouse, and it killed the cat.
Mhm.
Just that kind of, so what you're asking about certainly has relevance,
Mhm.
can happen.
Yeah. So it's better to do it in the evening, morning? When is the best time to put an application on?
When there's no wind.
No wind.
Oh,
I
yeah.
would do it early in the morning, especially with this heat. The leaves are more receptive to the herbicide
Oh.
when they're not under stress.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Our rule of thumb for most chemicals is 80 degrees.
Oh,
If it's above it,
Mhm.
but we don't spray.
oh, okay,
And then wind, of course, is a major factor as well.
right.
And then I add humidity to that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm.
But if you're out early, you're gonna be fine.
Okay.
Anything else?
That's all I have at this moment.
Jess?
Just as a point of interest, the office that I use in the courthouse flooded. A sprinkler line that feeds the drip line irrigation in the front of the courthouse busted sometime over the 4th and flooded down the wall and
Oh,
into the carpet and then up a lot of my really awesome furniture. So I'm not working in the courthouse currently.
Where do you live now?
Out of my house. I have
Very good.
a laptop set up and a printer, so
Perfect.
set up well to do that until that gets cleaned out. Probably going to be a while as Bill is deputy DES coordinator, so he's out on the fire.
He's busy, yeah.
So
my God, how much damage did you have to your documents?
not a lot to the documents. Everything was up and in file cabinets.
Good.
It's just the wooden furniture, like that particle board furniture all swelled.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
So I did take advantage of that grant money and I did replace it.
Good.
So everything will be not
Excellent.
moldy.
Good.
So
Anything else?
nope, that's it.
Wes? I don't have anything. Peter?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Gordon?
Just busy farming.
Have you seen more of
Harvest
that?
is upon us. Yeah, actually, what I saw a patch in the field that I was swathing this morning, and from where it was, it must have been there a couple of years, actually.
Oh, okay.
So, or, you know, so maybe it's been around a bit longer than I guess I've really noticed it. Yeah, it's not a real fun one. It could, because it emerges later, it could mean extra applications and such too. And,
Mhm.
Which one is this?
It's bladder campion, white cockle.
Oh, huh.
It's a new one for us. So.
I wonder, yeah.
Yep.
Brother.
Yeah, I saw Persian darnel for the first time in a long, long time too, but not on our ground.
Oh.
So, anyway. That's a tough one in the seed world. I think that's it. Yeah.
I don't think I have anything of a significance either. That would move us on to our next meeting as of August 20th. Be at 7 o'clock again. And I guess I'd like to gather a little bit of input here now. If we don't have any subdivision plans or anything to go over, is August a tough meeting for?
It can be.
Yeah.
It depends on what's going on, but yeah.
And so I think we'll maybe state that August meeting for the 20th. That way, if we have subdivision plans and so on, we can come together.
I will know by the 31st. If that works for you guys, we can let you know.
Okay. And just given that with harvest and
Oh, God, yes.
haying and everything coming together like it generally does in August,
Yeah.
if there isn't anything, it might be easier to, well, September's tough too, but come together in one of those 2 months instead of both. That seems reasonable.
Makes sense to me. You know much more about that than I do. You're dealing with that every day. But I certainly go with whatever you, your experience.
Well, if we don't have management plans or subdivision plans, then maybe we'll combine that meeting with our September one. And Jess will let us know
Yeah.
Sounds good.
here toward the end of the month. Very good. Meeting's adjourned. I don't have anything else. Thank you all. Appreciate it.